Okay, next big thing that Robin's helped me with that I want to share with you, the audience, is controlling stress and emotion. So, um, on my road to recovering from PTSD and being in toxic environments that did not serve me well, I would ride what Robin would refer to as the emotional wheel. So, Robin, tell us about and I would always picture the Wheel of Fortune wheel whenever we would
That's
talk
what
about this. Probably because you told me about that, so then I had the vision in my head, yeah.
well, that one, I think I came to that one more with friends and stuff because I was always very flat emotionally. Not I mean, there was times I'm like, am I depressed? Am I chemically imbalanced and blah blah blah? And I went through all that to try and find those answers. And turns out, no, I'm just low energy, introvert. These are just parts of my personality that I was trying to fix at the time. But
Mhm.
what I found was that what I call that riding the emotional wheel is
Yes.
people. What I would find is, and if I can use you as the
Yeah.
example,
You
I
may.
don't remember the subjects, but when you would be, you would get upset with people that you worked with or that neighbors, whatever. But in the telling of the tale, it's a reliving of the tale.
Yes.
And that's what I call you're riding the emotional wheel, right? If I'm telling you about how angry I was at the the guy that opened the gate and let the dog out or whatever it happened to be, I can tell that story with all of the emotion that I felt at the time.
Mhm.
Or and there's a I'm going to come back to this, but or I can tell it in a calm way, like as if I were telling you that I went and got a cup of water out of the sink, right? I
Yeah.
don't have to tell you that guy made me so mad because what happens is those stress hormones are released as if it's happening again. So
Right.
there's a re injury from that stress. The reason stress is bad is medical. Stress is bad medically because it releases all these dangerous hormones into our system, raises our blood pressure, it it raises our heart rate, it lowers our respiratory oxygen intake. It's bad. And it's bad. It can kill you. Stress kills. There's no
Right.
doubt about that medically.
Yeah.
So but I would have, you and other people, most people, many people tell a story from 2 years ago and still be in, and then, oh my God, and then, and it's like, okay, it's
Enraged.
okay. It's
Yeah.
not happening now.
Mhm.
The caveat with it is, of course, like the first time it happens, there's a, 10 minutes later, if you're telling the story, you're not riding the wheel, you're building the wheel, right? It doesn't go away in 1 second. It's going to take a week or two to let those stress levels fall because some guy let the dog out and it got hit by a car or whatever, something tragic.
Mhm.
Or even something not tragic. Somebody's grocery cart hit your car or whatever,
Mhm.
right? It Anything can make us angry. Angry is the biggest one, but sadness is another one that can linger, and it kind of lingers on us and it sticks to us. Um, so that we can riding that wheel, and so we can step off the wheel and see that it's pointing to anger or it's pointing to frustration. And we can talk about, I was so angry when the guy let the dog out and da 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 da. Or I can hop on the wheel and do, I was so angry, right? And ride it around. So, and it's an effort to control, even just pretending what I just did, changed my heart rate, changed my respirations. I feel it. Like it's
Mhm.
not a good feeling.
Right.
It's a bad feeling. And I now just even pretending, I've never had a dog let out, and I've never had a car get hit by a grocery cart. None of that's ever happened to me. But just pretending, like I just did, raises all that. Um,
Absolutely.
and so it's it's kind of living on an even keel, which for some people seems like a pipe dream
Yeah.
because they don't realize that they can control it verbally. And it's
Yes.
the same thing that you can control not only those kind of things, but the self-talk things, right? Oh, I'm so stupid, right? Just using language, A, that's never true. Stupid people, believe me, don't ever say that.
This is true.
Because they're stupid. They don't know. Sorry,
Right.
stupid people. If you're watching this, congratulations. Stay with it. But they're not in self-improvement mode ever.
No.
So
Yeah.
they're having this rage and these, they're living this life of what they call quiet desperation, if you will, but they're just in this mode of like, everything is, and that's kind of where we are right now. So for
Yeah.
me, it's really important to, maintain that. It isn't calmness, it's just understanding that I am not my emotions. I
My
am,
mom calls it living on the lake.
yeah,
So I
living
always like
on the lake.
imagine like if I'm a boat like sitting on a lake as opposed to like when you would tell me I would ride the wheel, like I would imagine like I'm still that boat on the lake, but but I've now separated myself, so I'm now there's a part of me that's in the lake creating waves.
Going, what am I doing?
Trying to tip over my own boat,
Right, and
right?
throwing
Because that's
things
really what
under
it
the
is.
boat. Yeah,
Right.
yep, that's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it because there's always gonna be stuff outside of our boat that's gonna create waves, but if you can not let the noise get to you and just,
I
live in
use
that
a
calm.
different boat metaphor if I can leave the outline for a second.
Yes, leave the outline, it's not
Okay.
that rigid.
You're gonna get mad at me? No, I'm just
I'm not
kidding.
Yes, I'm gonna ride the wheel of emotion of anger on the call or on the
But
on the podcast.
my boat analogy is always on a river, not a lake, and it's for a specific, very specific reason.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. Either a river or a motorboat. Either one, because there's
Okay.
forward movement. I'll give you the motorboat one because it's a little
Yeah.
more clear.
Okay.
I like to see it as, kind of the Titanic, riding that front of that boat,
Okay.
right? Wind in your hair. Just there's nothing ahead, just
Right.
pure forward.
Opportunity,
Well,
hope.
except for in the Titanic, there was actually something ahead, but
Right.
maybe
But in
not.
this analogy, there's nothing, right? It's like all beautifulness.
Um, but what I find is people tend to go to the back of the boat. I know I've told you this,
I'm
and
sure
look
you
at the
have.
outboard and look at all the churning and oh my God, there's gas and it's stinky and it's bubbly and it's not clear and I don't know where I'm heading. And it's because you're riding around looking at the back of you're kind of looking where you're gone versus where you're going.
I think we talked about this before we recorded. I think I'm
Maybe
spending too much time at the back of the boat.
that's
But yes,
possible.
okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate the refresher and the reminder. That's a
Yeah,
great
and then
analogy.
yeah, and then the other one is kind of on the river because sometimes on a river you get to it like an eddy or a place where the boat is just stuck. It's kind of
Are we whitewater rafting on this river?
yeah,
Is that what we're picturing?
we're just down the lazy river.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a lazy river.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're not. I'm not speeding anywhere. I don't know.
Well, I'm always speeding everywhere, so I had like my whitewater rafting.
Well, you can get the motorboat, but it's
Yeah.
there's points where we get to a point and we get stuck. And
Yes.
we're not stuck because of anything, but that's just where the water took the boat. And we're kind of over on the land and there's too much dirt and not enough water. And we're kind of beached. Well, you can't just sit there in that beached position and go, well, I'll wait for the flood season to come and get me out. You're going to get out of the boat and you're going to get your feet wet and you're going to get your pants wet and you're going to pull that boat back into the stream and then you can climb back in the boat and keep going. You don't want to stay in a place where you're not going anywhere,
Right.
right? So that's my other boat analogy. So there.
Beautiful analogy. Love that.
Yeah. Wait, see a gray hair. When I had brown hair, you couldn't see it on my black clothes. So
Well,
annoying.
now you know what it's like to have blonde hair. It's like everywhere. Except the difference is I don't know if it's mine or Barkley. So I'm like,
Aw,
sometimes I prefer it's his and mine, but
you could blame it on him.
I do.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add to the emotional wheel and
No,
controlling
just
stress and
it
emotions?
kind of and again, that's now that we kind of covered that changing habit patterns,
Mhm.
riding the wheel is a habit pattern.
Yes. For
And
me
so
especially it was.
for everyone, it is
Mhm.
I mean, it is true. It was true for you. It was true for me. It's true for everybody.
Mhm.
So again, to go through that process, is this true for me? Do I do this? If I
Mhm.
do it, do I want to change it? You don't have to. You can
Right.
enjoy. My mom and her sisters were yellers and screamers till the end.
And they liked it.
They didn't, I don't know if they liked it. They didn't know they could change it, but you know, I don't know. But they
Yeah.
never changed it and nothing terrible happened.
Right.
Right? I guess.
Yeah.
They're all dead, so we could blame it on that. But anyway, do I have to change it? No, you don't.
Mhm.
You can keep it. But just know that when you keep it, especially if it's something like riding that emotional wheel and just living this life of churning and just all the time, you're affecting other people in your life. It's not just that it's hurting you with stress hormones and all of that. Who wants to be that? Who wants that in their life? The
Right.
kids, your parents, your siblings, or your friends. So
Mhm.
anyway, do I want to change it? If yes, you're not going to change it overnight.
Right.
99 times and 99 times and 99 times and 99 times. So it's not, it's easy, but it's not quick. But
Yeah.
it takes that decision point of, yes, I'm going to change this. And, and then you try and think about it every day when you wake up.